What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sports Talk with Will. Now I'm recapping yesterday's New York Jets practice. It was an open practice in front of the fans. And let's see. So it seems like the defense got off to a pretty good start in yesterday's practice. But the offense definitely turned it around in the final two periods of that session, move the ball period and a situational period. And the move the ball drill started on the 15-yard line of the offense. Aaron Rodgers led two drives. Tyrod Taylor orchestrated one, and Andrew Peasley and Adrian Martinez split the final reps. Rodgers and the starters, they they went down the field on 12 plays. They could not find the end zone though. Garrett Wilson changed that on the 11th play of their second drive. He also converted on a third down earlier in the drive on a just a very good pass from Aaron Rodgers. Again, Aaron Rodgers showing his accuracy, just showing that he's still got a really good accuracy on his throws. So that's good to see from the 40-year-old quarterback. And Sauce Gardner was in coverage on that when Garrett Wilson made that catch on the very good pass from Rodgers. Tyrod Taylor, they went nine plays down the field before he connected with Irvin Charles, and that was his best practice of that's been his best and this was his best practice of training camp. He got a touchdown. Andrew Peasley got across midfield. Then Martinez came in and almost connected with Jason Brownlee for a score. Robert Saleh said it was really good. The first unit did such a good job of just getting positive yards and chopping wood. Tyrod did a great job creating some explosives. So it's different ways. It is different ways to move the ball. All it takes is one play, but the first unit did a really nice job just chopping wood. Second unit did a great job of creating explosives. Situational period. Offense was at its own 28. They were down by 8 points. It was 20-12, 102 remaining in regulation, no timeouts. Aaron Rodgers fired a ball down the sideline to Allen Lazard on the first play, 37-yard gain. That costed the offense 8 seconds on the clock. Then on third down, those two connected, keep the drive alive. Then 5 plays after that, on the 13-yard line, Rodgers lobbed a ball into the back left corner of the end zone. Breece Hall, he caught it for a touchdown. C.J. Mosley was covering him. And then they were successful with the 2-point conversion attempt. Rodgers found a wide open Malachi Corley in the end zone. Excuse me. And following Rodgers' 10 play drive, Tyrod Taylor's group only needed 3 plays to score. Connected with Irvin Charles for 20 yards. Then they went quickly. Then they lined up quickly, spiked the ball with 38 seconds left. Then the veteran had a very nice deep pass to Charles on the next play. Hauled in that pass with 2 defenders in coverage, and then he made his way past them towards the end zone for a touchdown. Irvin Charles said, "Tyrod gave me a route that was unscripted for sure. So just off what he said, I knew there was a high opportunity to get the ball. I just did the best I could to spread the field, stay open. He did what he did. I did what I did." Continuing what he said, "We feed off each other, honestly. First group, they kind of set the tone, and then when we come and pride ourselves of not falling off a cliff, keep the intensity high, keep the momentum high, keep the same level of execution." Let's see. The Jets changed their approach to that practice. With the regular season in mind, they scripted the equivalent of 3 quarters in Tuesday's practice and didn't flinch, according to head coach Robert Saleh, who's entering his 4th year. He said, it's all progression. We've been stair stepping and trying to add all of the mindfulness to be ready for week 1. So we just keep adding the load on top of our players so we can get them ready to play a full game. Right now, I feel confident we can play a full game, even though we repped it to the equivalent of about 3/4. But we'll have another long one coming up. Let's see. Jeremy Ruckert was diagnosed with a concussion. He did not practice, so we'll see how long he's out for. Von Kinlaw was in the backfield. He was able to get in the backfield to make stops. Uh, Staying with another defensive tackle, Leonard Taylor, had a tackle for loss. Running back Xavier Valladay, big reception down the seam, and a chunk gain on the ground later on in practice. Jason Brownlee continues to ascend. Got a nice reception down the sideline from Tyrod Taylor. Aaron Rodgers continuing his connection with Garrett Wilson. Got a long touchdown on a free play after the defense stepped offside. See, Aaron Rodgers, he's good with getting those free plays. In the history when he was on the Packers, he was, he's doing green 19, green 19, that? And then the defense jumps offside. They get a free play. And then Rodgers finds a wide open receiver downfield, which is pretty cool. So hopefully he gets to do that this year with the Jets. I mean, this year, in the regular season. I mean, again, I'm not gonna buy again. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna buy into this hype that we're hearing from training camp. I know it's looking good, but please, this was the same thing last year. Such a good training camp, and then here came the regular season, and we just did not show up. We just did not look the same. So, I mean, obviously a part of that is Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, but where the heck was the offensive line? So again, I ain't believe in any of this stuff until the regular season happens and we actually see it, if we see it. Let's see. So then because of Rucker not playing or not practicing, Zach Kuntz came in and got some reps. He was able to convert on a 3rd down in the move with the ball period, and it put the group in goal-to-go territory. And then rookie safety Jalen Key, who was our Mr. Irrelevant pick this year, he broke up a pass intended for Malachi Corley. So it really looks like that our youngsters, our depth players, are playing very well. But I just want to see, now with the regular season approaching, I want to make sure that the starters are ready to go and ready to face San Francisco week 1, because they're the ones that we're putting our main focus on. Obviously, we want to have depth because having depth is good. Every team, I mean, if you want to go far, if you want to be a successful team and go far, you got to have depth, and that's hopefully the Jets can continue to show that can show that this year. But again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for yesterday's practice. There's no practice today. The Jets are walking through, and then I assume they'll be back out on the field on Thursday, tomorrow. And then I think we're heading to Carolina. I think we're walking through today, and then I think they probably fly to Charlotte tomorrow for joint practices with the Panthers, and then they play on Saturday, week 2 of the preseason in Charlotte against the Carolina Panthers. So just like last year, we're playing the Panthers in the preseason. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the recap of yesterday's practice. That was day 14 of training camp. I don't count the day. I only count the days we practice as days of training camp. I don't count the days of walkthrough or the day of when players reported. I only count the actual practices. But yeah, that concludes this video. I will see you guys later, and go Jets.